Hi, my name is Catherine. I had my session with Bernie in November 2015, and I guess I'd just like to share a little bit about it before what we uncovered during it and what I found afterwards. So before our session, I was, doing pretty well. I would have classed myself as a successful person, health professional, had always been pretty successful academically and in my career and socially as well. A really good circle of friends and good strong family connections back home in Ireland. I guess one thing that wasn't going so well for me was that myself and my husband, who had been married for a couple of years, really wanted to start a family, and that wasn't quite happening for us. We had been trying for a baby for around a year and a half, and at the time that I saw Bernie, we had gone through some fertility treatment, had done acupuncture, had done lots of yoga, had basically tried most things that I came across in the hope that it would somehow get me pregnant. There was no real specific reason for myself and my husband given to us by the medics as to why things weren't happening, which was quite frustrating. We both wanted a crystal ball, and I certainly felt, everything up to that point in my life, that I wanted, I was able to have control over, and I was able to go and follow what it was that I wanted, work hard, and then get a positive result. And this was pretty much the first time in my life that I wanted something, I worked hard for it, and I didn't get a result. And it was really hard to take at an identity level, and very difficult emotionally as well. We'd been kind of through the ringer really, emotionally, starting with such hope about starting a family, knowing that we would be really good parents, and we had a lovely house. We thought that it was all our lives were all ready for a little one, and then just questioning why, at an emotional level, why it wasn't happening, and there were no answers. So I met Bernie through a lovely group, and decided to do a session together to just see what kind of things could be uncovered and whether there were some blocks. And so like I say, we had our session in late 2015. So what was uncovered during the session? Well, it was pretty intense, I have to say. I certainly resisted it a little bit in the lead up. I felt, oh, maybe this isn't right for me. This could get a bit deep. I don't know if I'm ready to explore things at a really deep level. What's going to be uncovered? What way am I going to feel afterwards? I had so many questions, and I just wasn't feeling comfortable about it at all. And those fears were all put to rest during and after the session. The session was very relaxed, beautifully set up, and immediately as we started a bit of relaxation and meditation, Bernie did a fantastic job in just letting me feel completely at ease and relaxed, and bringing me to a place where I felt really safe in sharing pretty intimate details of my life and of my childhood. So we went back, into my childhood a little bit, and found that when I was quite young, I no horrendous trauma, but through being raised by a single mom and through having a father that wasn't particularly present, it became obvious that I had been carrying this burden that meant that I had felt the need to be really controlled and quite the perfectionist, and that stemmed from really just wanting to be good for my mum, who I had always felt, had worried that she might be struggling, knew that she was doing it tough, and so conscientiously I'd always wanted to be that good girl as a child, and I guess I just carried that through my teenage years and into adulthood, feeling that I needed to be strong, number one, feeling that I needed to be in control, that I needed to be putting everyone else first, and my own needs second, or third or fourth or wherever. And I suppose what we uncovered was that my little inner child hadn't really particularly had a fantastic time to just be herself and just play and be childlike, and so in a bit of an epiphany moment we kind of discovered that if that was my little inner child not feeling that she had a particularly like childlike childhood, how was I going to have space for a new child in my life now as a 30-year-old adult? So it was a bit mind blowing. All right, also uncovered was just what I had assumed was resolved communication and resolved guilt and blame about my relationship with my dad. That was there was an opening for scope to communicate with him. He has passed away, but I guess on a soul level you'd call it. I was able to have a chat to him and almost get his perspective on why he wasn't so present in my life as a little kid, and that was so healing, really, because when we came through afterwards, I just realized that all the time that I'd been telling myself that I had forgiven him and that things were fine, I'd moved on and I was an adult now and grown up, actually I hadn't, but now I felt a really different attitude towards him and felt absolutely no blame and just a real love and joy towards him that I'd never felt before, and it was really freeing. And I have to say, when we came through after the session, I just felt this joy. I remember just laughing like uncontrollably, thinking, oh God, feels so light, feels so airy. And it was such a lovely feeling that I kind of can't describe it. So that was my experience of the session with Bernie. And what what myself and Bernie decided that would be a really good idea following that would just be to kind of reconnect with my little girl inside, that hadn't really had that chance to just play. And so after over the coming weeks and months, found myself swinging on the swings down the park, doing a cartwheel every now and then, or we got a puppy in the coming months, and just allowing myself to just be a bit more carefree, and let go of some of the control and need for a child and need to be pregnant, and just kind of allow things to be a little bit more. And it worked. So a couple of months later, 3 months later, found out that I was pregnant, and that was without any medical intervention. It was all natural. So around a year on from our session, had our beautiful little baby, who is bringing heaps of joy to our lives now, and you really couldn't be happier. So I would say that I got a lot of blessings. There was a kind of a cascade of events around that time, around the end of 2015, early 2016, that led to us getting our little baby, and certainly my session with Bernie was a big part of that cascade. So yeah, couldn't be happier. I would recommend the session to anyone, really, to everyone. It doesn't have to be a case of hitting rock bottom and being on real struggle street before it's necessary to do something like this. I think everyone can benefit from just taking a little bit of a break from being in your own deep in your own headspace, and just kind of breaking free of that a little bit, and living in your heart a little bit more, and just reconnecting with the child that's inside, because we live in a pretty doom and gloom world sometimes, and whatever is going on for us, it can just add tension and stress, and so just taking a bit of a break from that and reconnecting with the simpler things in life can really give a new focus, and can definitely, certainly like in my case, lead to a lot more positivity and a lot more joy. And so I certainly have a different outlook on things in a few ways since our session. And so I guess if somebody is looking for a bit of a break and a bit of a different outlook, having a session with Bernie is certainly one thing that may well, just bring a bit more joy, and do the world a good. It's a breath of fresh air, really. So that's it. Thank you.